USA Dance and the NDCA, and these are the two organizations that run most of the comps in the United States, have some rules that you might not be aware of that could definitely negatively impact you if you do not follow them. Okay, so number one, if you no-show an event without notifying the organizer, they may prohibit you from entering that competition for all years going forward, to penalize you. Here's why. Especially these big prom comps are scheduled really tight as a drum, trying to fit all these dancers in efficiently, trying to make sure, okay, can we fit these, silver adult Bs on the floor at the same time? It's like a circus act trying to get all these people scheduled. So if you no-show, what if you no-showing now means they have one less heat? Now the comp is X minutes off. If a bunch of people do that, chaos ensues. So if you're going to no-show, make sure to tell someone. Number two, if you are not in costume, ready to walk on the floor a half an hour prior to your event, they can run the event without you. You will not get a cent back for a refund. And probably worst of all, you end up, in terms of the online results afterwards, showing up dead last. Even though you were there, you came with bells and whistles on, but you know what? If you're not on the floor, there you go. As a matter of fact, even if you tell them in advance that you're not coming, you will still show up last on the records. So if you're looking up someone's results and you see they're like conspicuously last at one comp and didn't even get one recall, that would be quite unusual. Odds are they were either late or they just couldn't go for some reason. Okay, number three. This one is probably the most important in my opinion, and that is judges are not allowed to give you any sort of coaching at the comp. And this is prohibited by both the NDCA and USA Dance. And there's even a certain number of days before the comp they're not allowed to do that. Understandably, first of all, there's the perception that you're paying them off to get feedback, okay? And number two, it's probably not fair to the other competitors there if someone on that panel is giving them extra information. When their pro's probably not there to help them, nor is their pro on the panel, right? And they can be judging and saying, well, this is what I want to see in the next round, blah, blah, blah. And guys, I have actually seen a judge 1 year, it was years ago, but at the USA Dance National Championships, I actually even saw the judge on the side of the floor. It didn't bother me one iota. I didn't take offense, but they were giving literally one sentence responses to their students. Like, I didn't feel like they were being coached. I could see the student was asking that. It didn't seem like what they were saying was even going to make that much of a difference. You're going to dance your level that day. But anyway, I probably am less affected because I ended up winning both of my events that year. But I'll tell you, there were some other competitors there that reported them to USA Dance, and their pants weren't a bunch because they apparently placed behind these couples that were getting the coaching, okay? And that judge was never allowed to judge USA Dance Nationals again. Now, I have not personally seen this happen. I mean, I do know that judges do this surreptitiously at comps, and I shared one example in a previous video. As a matter of fact, there's one pro I know of who judges quite a bit, who I personally know several other pros have complained to the NDCA about this judge. That person's still judging. So maybe the NDCA does not actively enforce this rule. I'm not there behind the scenes. Maybe they got some sort of reprimand or financial consequence. I have no idea. But I would caution you if you're taking, say, visiting coaching from someone in the past, you know them, I would personally just stay clear at the comp. I personally would just smile and wave and say nothing at all, just because I don't want to give the perception of impropriety. And to my knowledge, there's no consequence to the student, 0. But that judge who is, that teacher that you like, maybe if it's your home teacher, you're taking 40 hours with a week, just stay clear at the comp. They will give you ample feedback afterwards, guys. You would hate to cause a fiasco for them. And it really, I could even see that one judge who was coaching, and I use the term liberally, one sentence responses to their students, probably was torn, like, well, shoot, I'm judging this event, but these are my clients. I can't do this for a living if I don't satisfy my clients. Like, just all sorts of bad juju. Don't do it, okay? Finally, you might not be aware of this. Both the NDCA and USA Dance have, I'll call them modesty restrictions for kids and youth. So one example would be they must have their entire torso covered, like there can't be a cutout or something, okay? And one year at Nationals, at the USA Dance Nationals, this is cray-cray, I saw the #1 couple that placed first in the comp, and they announced the results, called them up first, and they went up, and as they walked up, they said, and unfortunately, this couple's been disqualified. Can you imagine that soul-crushing moment? I just won national. No, I didn't, because of my outfit that my parents chose. Somewhat gobsmacked. And having seen the outfit, I agree. The skirt was too short, and you guys know how I feel about teaching kids. I really feel they should be treated as children, and not like an adult beauty pageant. But that's, my opinion. So anyway, guys, if you have any other interesting rules that you've run across that you think, oh man, that might help people to know that, definitely share in the comments. I'm just sharing the ones that kind of stick out to me that I'm thinking might not be super intuitive. Also, one more thing regarding costumes. Comps are allowed to add further restrictions. So I don't think this is a restriction in NDCA, but it is in USA Dance comps, for example. You can't have special lighting effects on your costumes and syllabus. And they even, I've seen them make the competitors take earrings off, for example. Again, that's not NDCA comps, though. I'm just talking about USA Dance. Another example would be any comp at BYU. They have some great comps there, highly recommend, well organized, but they have additional, I'll say, modesty restrictions. And they literally have the competitors, you go behind this curtained area, and they'll go with a tape measure, how far is this down your back or whatever. So if you do show up and your costume is not sufficiently covering your body, they'll give you a yucky piece of t-shirt fabric to cover the area. But if you look in advance and then bring the appropriate costume, it's gonna bode a lot better, be less stressful that day. So anyway, guys, hope that's been helpful. I cannot wait to see you in the morning. If you are interested in all things ballroom dance, hey, we are a worldwide community of ballroom dancers here. I've been in this industry 40 years, but you know what? I am ultimately just one person in my little corner of the world, and I love hearing your stories. And I also enjoy hearing, where you live, not only that, but what skill level are you? Do you compete? What styles do you compete in? Fascinating to me. So thanks so much for joining me, guys. Happy dancing, and see you in the morning.